Nicole from Sydney English Teacher and from the Successful English Learner by Sydney English Teacher. Thank you for joining me live here today for episode 13 of Nicole's Weekly Words. I'm here in my Facebook group, The Successful English Learner by Sydney English Teacher, on my Facebook page, Sydney English Teacher, and over on my YouTube channel, The Successful English Learner. Thank you so much for joining me, and I really hope that you enjoy learning and using the 5 words that I have chosen for you today. So yeah, we're ready for another week of learning. I really hope you've been enjoying Nicole's Weekly Words, and more importantly, that you have been using this impressive new vocabulary week by week. I'm going to continue the alphabet theme that we have started. We are now up to the letter E. So the 5 words that I have for you this week all begin with the letter E. I hope that these are new words for you, that you haven't heard them before. However, if you have, if you recognize them, then don't turn off the video. Keep watching, because I'm going to teach you how to use them. That's the aim of Nicole's Weekly Words. Not just to recognize vocabulary, but to learn it so well that you're able to use it correctly. So let's begin. The first word that I've chosen for this week is eavesdrop. Eavesdrop. And if someone eavesdrops, it means that they secretly listen to someone else's conversation. You know, they pretend that they're not listening, or they're hiding perhaps so that no one can see or hear them. But they're listening, okay? Nobody knows that they're listening, but they're listening usually to a private conversation, or to some private information, or to something that they really shouldn't know, that they really shouldn't be listening to. So you're really eavesdropping on a conversation that you haven't been invited to. That's the best way of thinking of it. So you're listening to a private conversation without the people who are speaking actually knowing that you're there, that you're listening. It could be by accident. You might be listening by accident, or maybe on purpose. Who knows? But the fact is, you're eavesdropping, and you shouldn't be. So an example: the teachers caught me eavesdropping in on their conversation, and now I'm in big trouble. Or he just found out that his mother had been eavesdropping on all of his phone conversations with his girlfriend, and he's not very happy at all. I can imagine. Number 2, the second word I've chosen for today is envisage. Envisage. And if you envisage something, it really means that you imagine something for the future. You maybe even expect something for the future. And it's especially used for something that's good or positive that you're imagining or expecting. You know, you've got a really clear picture in your head, in your mind, a really clear prediction, I suppose, about something or someone or a situation. It's like you are visualizing it or picturing it, and visually predicting this thing. So it's quite advanced vocabulary. It's quite academic, actually. So yeah, try and use this one. It's great. An example: I envisage them getting married and having, excuse me, I envisage them getting married and having a lot of children. Or he envisages the possibility of being promoted to the role of department manager in the future. Or she had never envisaged living and working in another country, but it was a great decision, both professionally and personally. Great. Number 3, I've chosen the word euphemism. euphemism. And this is a really interesting concept because a euphemism is a word or an expression that you use to substitute another word or expression which you think could be a little bit too strong or which you think might offend or embarrass someone. So you say this euphemism instead of this other word to really avoid any unpleasant or offensive situations. You replace what you want to say with a less direct way, a less upsetting way, I suppose. So this is often used, a euphemism is often used so that you don't upset someone, so that there are no misunderstandings. When you're talking about subjects such as death or relationships or age or even health, maybe even about losing a job, you know, instead of saying you're fired, you would say something like, you are being let go. Can you see how that's much more gentle and soft, not as hard and, what should I say, stressful, I suppose. So really a euphemism makes what you say a lot softer. It makes it more polite, I suppose, and less upsetting. So, you know, some examples of euphemisms might be pre-owned, which means second-hand or used. Or a bun in the oven means you're pregnant. Or economically challenged is another way to say poor. Or if you're between jobs, you're unemployed. Or if you're big boned, you're overweight. Or if you're thin on top, you're bald. Excuse me, if you're a senior citizen, it means that you're an old person. Or if you've had a few too many, it means you're drunk, you've had too much alcohol. Or if someone passes away, they die. So really what we're doing here is we're avoiding the real word, the direct word, and we're softening it, we're making it nicer. So an example, the article used so many euphemisms that I was a little bit confused about what it was about. Or he certainly overuses euphemisms, doesn't he? I'm always trying to work out what he's trying to say. So there you go. Number 4, I've chosen the word erratic. Erratic. And erratic is really when something or someone moves or behaves in a way that is not regular, it's not expected. You know, we're not certain of what they'll do. It's not really very organized, I suppose. So there's a sudden change which can't be predicted or hasn't been predicted. So there's this real lack of consistency, I suppose, in behavior. A person is unpredictable. A lack of consistency in pattern. You know, it goes up and down and up and down and up and down. Or a lack of consistency in schedule. You're crazy busy and that can change without warning. Or in movement, you know, it's not a fixed course. It's all over the place. So an example might be, I'm a little worried about him. His behavior has been quite erratic lately. Or the erratic day of trading on the stock market really made the investors quite nervous. Or his work hours have been so erratic lately, it's impossible for us to plan a holiday. Or we could even say, years of erratic dieting have affected her health, and especially her metabolism. Finally, number 5, we've got the word estranged. Estranged. And that basically is used when you're no longer close to someone, okay? Your relationship or your friendship isn't what it used to be. Maybe you had an argument or a disagreement and you're not close anymore as a result. You're not speaking with each other anymore, or maybe you don't see each other anymore. You know, you could often be estranged from family members or an ex-wife or an ex-husband, or even from particular friends. For example, his estranged son made the first attempt at contact again after almost 10 years of not speaking with each other. Or his estranged wife expected him to share his lottery win with her, despite the fact that they'd been separated for almost a year. So there you go, that is the word estranged. So this week we've learnt eavesdrop, envisage, euphemism, erratic, and estranged. I hope you've really enjoyed learning those words. Your job now is to go and practice them. So try and use these words every day this week, as often as you can. Speak them, write them, and download the worksheet over in the Facebook group, The Successful English Learner by Sydney English Teacher, where you'll be able to read it all again, see the meaning, see the example sentences, and write your own. Anyway, have a fabulous week. Thank you for joining me today for episode number 13. I hope you join me again next week, because I've got 5 great new words next week that I'd like to share with you again. Thanks for joining me and have a great day. Bye.